Tonight, a sex offender from Britain released into a country community. A missing Perth man turns up in a country shopping centre. And some medieval mayhem as a southwest town goes back to the Middle Ages.
Live across Western Australia, Golden West News with Noel Brunning.
Hello again. Also tonight, Albany buckles down for a wild night and it's finals time in the Midwest. But first, a man with a police record of sex offences has been released into a southwest community. He's living with family near Donnybrook, south of Bunbury. He was meant to have been deported, but he's appealed against that decision and has been released for health reasons.
This is the quiet southwest town of Donnybrook, and somewhere near here a man called Neville Taylor is staying with relatives. Mr Taylor, who was born in Britain, has lived in Australia for most of his life.
If we perceived that there was a specific significant risk to the community, then we would have addressed that with DMIA.
In 2001, Mr Taylor's permanent visa was cancelled on character grounds. The Migration Act requires that anyone in the country without a visa must be detained pending their removal from Australia.
Mr Taylor isn't an Australian citizen and the Immigration Department's trying to send him back to the UK. But Mr Taylor is appealing against that decision, and because he's sick, he's been allowed to live in the southwest until his appeal is decided. Police say the convicted sex offender has heart problems and has been released on home detention. He now lives here in Donnybrook with family. A newspaper report says Mr Taylor has been called the polite sex offender.
I wouldn't condone a comment about someone being a polite sex offender. He's a convicted sex offender and that's what we're dealing with.
Mr Taylor has to report to the police station 3 times a week and is subject to unscheduled police visits. Today we contacted Mr Taylor's family on the telephone, but they didn't want to talk about the case. Veronica Buck in Donnybrook for Golden West News.
A statewide missing person mystery has ended in the southwest. A man missing from Perth for 5 weeks was spotted today in a shopping centre in Bunbury. At one stage it was feared the man may have taken his own life. Then there were reports he'd been seen on the Bibbulmun track.
Police say Stuart Brodie, who's 42, had been staying in this empty house in Bunbury since last Thursday.
We never saw anybody leaving or coming or going or anything. We just noticed that there was light on, so we knew somebody was there.
Police collected Mr Brodie's tent, sleeping bag and towel from the house today. A family friend spotted Mr Brodie here at the Bunbury Centrepoint shopping centre early this afternoon and called police. The Perth father of 5 had been missing for more than 5 weeks.
I don't think he's that content with his current life, and I think he just wanted some peace and quiet and to do his own thing. He feels like he's a bit of a loner.
Police say Mr Brodie parked his Holden Rodeo near Serpentine and started walking south.
He stayed mainly around Albany Highway. He went down as far as about 100 kilometres north of Albany, and he's been crossing backwards and forth.
Police say Mr Brodie wasn't happy with the way his soil testing business was going and also spoke of family problems. He told police he didn't want to be found and if they released him, he'd go bush again.
It's very good that he's safe. We're happy with that and I'm sure his family will be. What he does from here will be up to Stuart.
Police say Mr Brodie showed no signs of depression and was happy. He's agreed to stay the night at the Bunbury Health Campus. Alex Cullen in Bunbury for Golden West News.
Well, since early this morning, the south coast's been warned to expect a big blow with a chance of destructive wind gusts. Our reporter in Albany, Julian Duncan, is on the telephone right now. Julian, what's the weather like right now?
Well, Noel, the front's just starting to hit now. Here in town, we're actually quite protected from southwesterlies, but now many people are arriving home to find their wheelie bins halfway down the street. And I'm getting reports that wind gusts here in town are reaching about 90 kilometres an hour. Local beaches are being pummeled by 6-metre high waves, and I've been told we can expect some significant erosion over the next few hours.
We've seen some of your pictures of the weather this afternoon. It doesn't look great. I'm told with these kinds of storms, big gusts can really come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. The sun's actually been out for the last half hour, and you could be forgiven for thinking it's all over. But apparently the wind's going to stay at roughly 90 kilometres an hour. But if you're anywhere on the coast between Walpole and Esperance, you could be getting isolated wind gusts of well over 110 kilometres an hour. And they're in pockets as small as 1 kilometre wide.
Julian, what's the Weather Bureau saying about the storm? How long is it going to last?
Well, basically they're telling people to batten down the hatches and expect some property damage over the next few hours or so. They're urging people not to go outside and to stay off the road. They say we could be getting some hailstorms, but we shouldn't expect too much rain to develop. before the storm peters out about 11 p.m. tonight in Albany and early tomorrow morning in Esperance.
OK, restful sleep after that. Thanks, Julian.
Thank you.
Well, another Kalgoorlie home was almost destroyed last night by fire. And I say another because it's almost the 30th Kalgoorlie home to go up in smoke this year. Nobody's been killed, but it's cost homeowners millions of dollars.
This home was almost destroyed by fire around this time last night.
The fire brigade called about 5:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon to a fire at the back of this house.
The back 3 rooms are gutted, but the rest of the house is not too bad other than the smoke damage.
Fireys say here in Kalgoorlie-Boulder, house fires are happening too often.
The house has to comply with the building code and standards of when it was built or when it had last major renovations.
Fire officer Martin Cable says a lot of Kalgoorlie homes are a fire risk because they're so old.
That's why we push hard for smoke alarms. Smoke alarms save lives and they alarm people early. It doesn't take a lot of smoke to set off a smoke alarm.
There have been almost 30 house fires in Kalgoorlie-Boulder since the start of the year. That's almost one house fire a week. And Fire Officer Martin Cable says the house behind me is one of the lucky ones. If it had have been made of fibro, like a lot of homes on the goldfields, it would have burned to the ground. And all that fire damage is costly.
A place like this, to replace, you're probably looking at a couple $100,000 to rebuild it if it needs to be demolished. So you're over in the millions and millions of dollars worth of property damage.
Pelle Finson in Kalgoorlie-Boulder for Golden West News.
A Southwest Shire says it can't afford to fix a crossing where 2 children drowned. The state government have already chipped in $500,000, but the Shire says that's just not enough.
It happened back in October of 2003. Jack Anstey and Ashley Munger drowned when their family 4-wheel drive was swept down the Blackwood River off this crossing. Their parents escaped, but the children were trapped underwater. The Shire of Nannup wants to build a bridge so people don't have to use the river crossing. But the Shire president says it'll cost at least $1.4 million.
We'll be looking at sort of doubling the rate to even sort of think about it. So it's really out of the question.
Barbara Dunnard says a bridge is vital because the crossing is the only way out for residents if a fire approaches from the west and if the council wants to prevent another tragedy at the site. The state government will pay $500,000 of the bill. That's half of what the bridge was first estimated to cost. But the Shire says the labour shortage and higher steel prices mean it'll cost far more than the government expects.
In order to make this bridge happen, the government would have to come forward with more money because I think it's beyond our resources.
The Main Roads Department says it understands construction costs have risen and if the council asks for more money, it'll assess the situation. Bianca Haley in Perth for Golden West News.
Now, our state's a pretty amazing place where some pretty amazing things happen, but how would you feel about time travelling? Well, if you were in the right place this weekend, you might have thought that's what had happened.
Welcome to the Middle Ages. Knights with swords, fair maidens on horseback. This is what went on in Balingup at the weekend.
And it started off as just a community celebration of our creativity and madness of Balingup. And it's just grown and grown and grown. We've got a huge following now.
These guys look as though they've stepped right out of the Middle Ages in Europe.
All of our gear is handmade at home with no special machinery or tools. Takes a long, long time.
We just got non-stop, it's non-stop entertainment, 5 minutes between acts.
There was wood shaping and wool spinning, stalls with handmade arts and crafts, but for some people it was all about music.
On the Dream Hub you see it has a sculpture inside as well, which we actually create a symbol inside the instrument, which becomes a personalised instrument.
More than 6,000 people from all over Australia come here to the festival every year. Most of them have spent months putting their costumes together.
Well, this is an old curtain that was thrown away on the side of the road in Karrinyup.
There is no one else producing events like this, of this magnitude. So as a community, the cohesion is unbelievable.
The future will get bigger and better. and madder.
Rachel Thornton in Bailing Up for Golden West News.
I was there and the medieval hot dogs were yummy too. Up next, tough new fishing laws and just how hard is it to get a dose of finals fever?
The third flag, the force, the star, the power, the planes, the Eagles. Exclusive interviews, in-depth, up close. Today tonight, as the Eagles fight for the third flag.
Retrovision's bulk buying power will save you more, and with friendly staff from your local community like Phil and the Retrovision team in Mandurah or David and his helpful staff in Bunbury, local service costs you no more. So for expert advice and the right price,
we've got it!
Now you can get control of your home and mobile bills with the new Home and Mobile Cap, only from Telstra. Get up to $500 of value each month to share across both your home and mobile phones when you spend $99 a month on eligible calls plus line rental. To wind in the cost of your monthly phone bills, call 1-800-008-454 now. That's 1-800-008-454.
You get bigger returns with Oz Lotto, so get a ticket in Tuesday's $2 million jackpot.
Now you can quadruple the savings with Chicken Treat's big $8 meal for two deal. Choose from a chicken and chips, a chicken roll and chips, a fillet deluxe and chips, or a big chicken dinner. Any two, just $8, but only from Chicken Treat, the chicken loves chicken.
Here is a public announcement from Textile Traders. A massive factory purchase is offered to the public at 50% off. That is half the regular selling price off hundreds of items. This offer is genuine, limited, and only at Textile Traders 12 stores.
Life's like a box of Jenny's.
Florence Gump for original gourmet baskets.
Talk to Jenny.
Florence Gump, we've got the flower power, just ask us.
She'll help you.
Florence Gump, we're the freshest, friendliest flower bunch.
Jenny.
see Retrovision for these great gift ideas for Dad this Father's Day. Dad will love this Philips rechargeable shaver, only $149. And this Remington men's shaver, just a low $49.95.
Retrovision, we've got it!
Tough new fishing laws are about to be introduced in the Pilbara and Kimberley. How tough? Well, bag limits on some fish will be slashed from 40 to just 4.
Thousands of boaters hit the Pilbara and Kimberley waters every week to catch the big one, especially on days like this. But just how many of those big ones you can take home is about to change. New fishing restrictions approved for the Pilbara and Kimberley today means fish will now be placed into 3 categories: high risk, medium risk and low risk. So what does that mean? Well, red emperors are in the high risk category. Their bag limit drops from 8 to 2. A medium category fish like trevally will go down from 40 per person to just 4. And finally, low-risk fish like mullet and whiting will go from a bag limit of 40 per species to just 40 for the whole category. Pretty big changes, but what do the fishermen think?
The years the fishing hasn't been quite as productive as it has been, so obviously it's suffering the impact of lots of people here with lots of boats and lots of fishing, so probably reduced bag limits will help.
If everyone brings home like their fair share with smaller amounts, then there's more for everyone to go around.
In the future, at least, it's going to be still known as a very good fishing place, and yeah, the longer we get the fish here, the better.
The new laws will come into effect on the 1st of January next year. The full list of changes are available at www.fish.wa.gov.au. Belinda Wilkinson in Dampier for Golden West News.
A terrorism attack in country WA is not something any of us want to think about, but someone is. That's what these pictures are about. They show police, emergency services and the Kalgoorlie-Boulder Airport taking part in a counter-terrorism exercise. It's part of a federal government program called Securing Our Regional Skies. Well, time now for sport, and hello Alex, welcome back. I can say that because I haven't seen you all day.
Thanks, Noel. Well, it is good to be back. I've been at the Goldfields for a while, but I'm back just in time for the finals.
Good on you.
Action from Geraldton soon, and a couple of country runners show the City Slickers how it's done.
Tonight, a battle to be accepted.
Check out the booty that put Izzy Stevens through med school.
This is the Grey's Anatomy episode that shocked.
Do not resuscitate. All right.
And moved 20 million viewers.
Isn't 5 good years better than 10 bad ones?
Meredith, what the hell are you doing?
8:30 tonight on GWN.
Hey, Jenny, guess what, girl? I only have one chin now. Holla! Oh, and I'm in love. No, with my personal consultant. Yeah, hold up a second. If you join Jenny Craig, you get one too. They'll design a plan just for you. Your life, that's the way it works.
Spring into summer and lose 10 kilos for just $10. Call Jenny now on 131992.
Oh, and when you go into weigh, you want to kiss your consultant? You can. I do. They like it. Have you called Jenny yet?
In giving United Farmers the job of marketing my grain and wool,
Alan Knows will not only strive to achieve top returns.
Because we are a cooperative, we can also increase farmer margins and create substantial savings. And that is more dollars in the pocket for me.
And me.
And me.
And me. And every other trading member. Because our cooperative is all about farmers helping farmers.
Why not join us?
Free and natural. It's the way you've always wanted to shower. 2 slim solar heart panels on your roof will do it. As the water circulates, the sun heats it naturally, so you get hot water free from the sun on tap every day. Luxurious hot water, which saves energy, saves water heating costs, and helps save the environment too. Free and natural. It's the way you've always wanted to shower. Call Solar Heart now.
I'm often asked just what it is that has made WA Country Builders so successful. And the answer's simple: people. There are over 100 dedicated people working for WA Country Builders in offices all over the state. Fact is, we're always looking for good people, and not just experienced people. As part of our commitment to the country, we also offer a trainee program. If you share the same commitment to the country, talk to your local builder. Talk to WA Country Builders.
This Sport Report proudly brought to you by WA Country Builders.
Hello again, Basil Zemplis with your GWN Game of the Week. And tonight we're getting straight down to business with some good old-fashioned finals football. It's the Geraldton Railways versus the Brigades in a sudden death playoff. Sounds like a beauty. Let's have a look.
Many fans expected a close game yesterday at Greenock Oval when Railways Blues took on Brigades Hawks in the first semi-final of the GNFL. Third place Brigades were 2 games ahead of Railways in fourth coming into the finals, but after the Hawks came out and scored 5-2 to Brigades 1-1 in the first quarter, it seemed like the Blues had a tough game ahead.
Sure, I think we never really fired a shot. I think today Brigades were better than us from the start, and we never really looked like we could get back into the game. I think they played an excellent brand of football.
It was always going to be a dangerous game. First semi-final is that sort of a game where it's not like losers out. Our players just really sort of stuck to the actual game plan.
Brigades took off in the second quarter, scoring 7 goals 1, while Railways could only manage 2 goals 3. By three-quarter time, the Hawks' lead had blown out to more than 10 goals. And towards the end, it seemed like Brigades were just playing with the Blues.
Be in front, boys. Be in front. We've got to throw caution to the wind, fellas, in the next 30 minutes and just run and play on. And
the final score, Brigades 14-10-94 to Railways 7-10-52.
We were hard at the ball. I really thought that we roughed Railways up in respect of tackling very hard, very fierce at the contest, put a lot of pressure on them.
Obviously disappointed and a horrible way to finish the season, but it's got to come to an end somewhere.
Dougal Wallace in Geraldton for Golden West News.
And Brigades will now be fighting it out, there we go, for a spot in the grand final. They'll take on the winner of next weekend's second semi-final between Mullewa and Towns. Officially, it's a fun run, but some pretty serious runners turn out for the city to surf in Perth, even internationals. But in the women's, nobody got anywhere near 2 Country West Aussies. They're from the same town, the same club, and they even work together.
A crowd of more than 25,000 at the start of yesterday's City to Surf, but the top runners soon left the others behind. Esperance athlete Lauren Shelley was in the elite group. She ran the 12-kilometre course in 42.5 minutes to be the first female across the line. It's the second time Lawrence won the event.
I quite enjoy running in the rain. It's not too cold, it's just a little bit wet, but towards the last couple of Ks it was a bit slippery underfoot on the road, but lovely to run in.
Right behind Lauren was fellow Esperance physiotherapist and training buddy Jamie Wellington.
It's great fun. It was, I didn't even notice it was actually raining the whole time, but no, it was really good fun.
Today on her way back to Esperance, Lauren was a little sore. She says the country lifestyle makes it easier to train for races.
Sometimes in the country you've got a bit more time to do the outdoor things and you're not spending as much time stuck in traffic and rushing around the city.
And if you didn't catch it yesterday, here's the sprint to the finish in the open division. Tanzanian runner Patrick Nyangelo crossed the line less than a second ahead of Steve Monaghetti, a four-time Olympian. Nyangelo ran 12 kilometres in 36 minutes 10 seconds. Bianca Haley in Perth for Golden West News.
Now it's finals time in the AFL. West Coast takes on Sydney at Subiaco Oval this Friday night. It's harder now than ever to get a seat at Subi, especially if you live in regional WA. Some of these West Coast Eagles members have been waiting for a finals ticket since 4:30 this morning.
It would be much easier if they allocated the seats that we've already got for the members. You know, I don't feel like we should have to line up here for 4 hours again and to get our tickets.
During the season, members get allocated seats, but not for finals. You get what you're given. Some of these members, they pay up to $400 a year membership fees, yet they still have to wait out here for hours for that beloved, all-important finals ticket.
I'm a bit disappointed that way, and plus the fact we've just got to take the seats that we can get. They haven't even got a choice.
But the AFL says for good reason.
The finals are run every match with the AFL running the game, and we have to make allowances for the supporters of both clubs. That's why we don't allow people to retain their seats.
There's 42,500 West Coast members. Subi Oval sits about 43,000 people. That leaves less than 500 seats for the non-members, but most of those will go to Sydney Swans supporters.
I would expect the vast majority of tickets to be taken by West Coast members.
Tickets for non-members go on sale Wednesday morning.
Come on, Eagles! Woo!
Alex Cullen in Bunbury for Golden West News. And that's it for me, Noel.
You're in the queue. Did you get a ticket?
No, I did not.
Well, thanks. Shaw's in next with weather for across the state. Then in 7 News, thousands run for their lives from a huge storm.
Never thought you'd see Miss Universe look like this. Get down and dirty with Jen at the Mud Festival in Korea. The great outdoors tonight.
The Correct Line drainage team are expanding and we need block layers for current and ongoing projects. Good packages are offered to the right people for immediate start. To apply, call Correct Line on 9726 2052.
At Moylan Silos, we believe our product and service is the best in the business. We manufacture and deliver any sized order throughout WA's agricultural area. Our new 43 and 85 bag sheep and cattle feeders are stacked with features, including roof and side ladders, large weather aprons, towing eyes, sight glasses, skids, an adjustable feed rate, plus a ground opening 30-inch filling port. And they're available for immediate delivery or pickup. With over 30 years experience in the industry, you can trust Moylan Silos, the state's leading silo manufacturer.
Time to clean up with your Stihl Autumn catalogue. Get this Farm Boss from $8.69 with free chainsaw carry case. For your nearest Stihl specialist dealer, call 13 11 97.
It's a motorcycle spectacular. The all-new Northern Motorcycle Festival, starring crusty demon Billy Walls direct from the USA and world stunt rider Mad Matt Bingay. It's 2 days of non-stop motorcycle action with freestyle motocross, Harley V rod stunts, trials, supermoto, road racing displays and live bands in Northam September 17 and 18. Tickets available from participating bike shops or online at northammotorcyclefestival.com.au.
Head straight to the point to be part of Bathurst 2005. Win a trip for two and take in all the action on the Mount Panorama track. See incentive for terms and conditions.
Beat the summer rush. Spring into action with Paint West. Paint West for cracked tile repairs and roof painting. Paint West for complete roof renovations. Paint West Intelligent Roof Restoration.
Well, here they are, the lowest fuel prices where you live. These are for tomorrow. You'll find the full list on the Fuel Watch website, or you can telephone 1300 550 808.
Good evening everyone, and while a cold stormy push along the south coast tonight, a clearing trend for most of us, fine conditions again prevailed over our northern half today. Now WA's highest maximum was 36 at Warman and Fitzroy Crossing, and the highest minimum 23, and that was at Courier Bay. Scattered showers and drizzle throughout the southwest land division today. The state's lowest overnight minimum, a very reasonably warm 4 degrees, that was at York and Donnybrook, and the lowest maximum 14 at Mount Barker, Shannon and Rocky Gully South. Now a quick check on the rain map to 9 a.m. and you could see mainly light falls through that southwest land division, the highest recording 18 millimetres at Bindoon in the lower west, then Maryvale on the south coast with 15 millimetres. Now the latest rain radar is worth a check. We can see the falls mainly light in patches through here around that metropolitan area from the lower west down into the southwest. And of course this patch over Albany. Now if we check on the satellite, and it shows this speckled cloud surging through here across the south behind a strong cold front, and that's been bringing the widespread showers. So looking at that onto the surface, and this strong cold outbreak moving through should move rapidly through the south coast tonight and tip to bring some widespread showers, thunder, hail and potentially damaging winds. Now we've also got some scattered showers moving through most parts of the southwest land division. Looking at tomorrow, a ridge should move in quickly there behind or across the south, now behind that cold outbreak, with showers then quickly contracting to the south coast and Eucla as winds also rapidly moderate from the west. And then by Wednesday morning, a high is expected to lie over the far south, so expect fine conditions over most of the state, although some early morning showers or drizzle near the eastern south and Eucla coasts is quite likely. And then ahead to Thursday, a narrow ridge should lie through the south. This should bring again fine conditions to most of the state, though some isolated showers through this southwest area here should become scattered during the day ahead of the next cold front, and that rain should extend further north and then east. Let's check now the districts for tomorrow. Should be fine for the Kimberley and Pilbara tomorrow. Moderate winds, and Wednesday much of the same. Now a fine day also for the Gascoyne. Showers should clear tomorrow morning from coastal parts of the central west. Winds fresh and gusty, and then Wednesday forecast fine. For southwestern districts now, and there is a severe weather warning. That's for the south coast and southern parts of the southwest district for tonight. So basically it's going to be cold with widespread showers, clearing from the north, winds fresh to stormy, and then for Wednesday there is a clearing trend. Now isolated showers clearing these southern goldfields, scattered coastal rain for the Eucla with fresh, strong and gale force winds, and then Wednesday just some early coastal showers are forecast. For northern waters, and winds light to moderate above Cape Preston, shifting in the afternoon. Below that, those winds picking up to be quite moderate to fresh. Southern waters, and the Bureau's issued a storm warning, and that's from Walpole through here to Israelite Bay. A gale warning from Cape Naturalist through to Walpole, and then moving from Israelite Bay through to Eucla. And then of course a strong wind warning, and that's from Jurien Bay moving down there to Cape Naturalist. Now around the nation, and it's looking mainly wet and windy for our east coast centres. And as for Perth, well, a clearing shower, a top of 15 degrees. Good night.
Thank you, Shauna, and that's about it from us. Hope you've had a great start to the week.
Stay with us now for 7 News and then Today Tonight.
Good night, Western Australia.